What's up, guys and gals? This is Ahsoka. Today I'm bringing you a bought cards by mail. This is going to be graded cards that I've picked up over the last few months. And these are things that I've actually added to my collection. So it's been a while since I've done that. And I wanted to show you all a variety of purchases that I've made. So hopefully this is something that you enjoy. If you like the update that's going on, make sure to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's go over some of the new XY and Sun and Moon stuff. So I've actually picked up about a stack about this big of Sun and Moon cards. These were things that I picked up early on the auction, and these were things that ended for $15, $20, so I got pretty lucky on it. This right here, so I think I'm still not sure what these are called, so forgive me if I make mistakes. I'm still not used to the Sun and Moon era cards. But we have the tag team. I think this is just the base GX, not a full art. This is from the Great Ball collection. I think, yeah, I paid about 15, maybe 20 bucks for this. So really great pickups, and a lot before the prices really picked up during the pandemic. And I'll talk about that a little bit as well throughout the video. Only reason I didn't pick up Rayquaza was because it was pretty easy to find gem mint quality full arts from this set. This is another one. I just really like the art, and if you play Pokemon Go, you'll know that this one was a pretty rare shiny in the game. You could only get it at a certain point from the 7-kilometer eggs, and those were pretty tough to hatch because it was difficult to get the shinies out of it. And then from there, I think there was a quest that was out, and then the quest was nerfed because you couldn't get the shiny from it. So I actually managed to get one. I got three: one from the egg, one from the quest on an alt account, and one from the one of the events that happened. So I was pretty happy about it. So it's kind of why I picked that up. Again, for me, I really like Shiny Volt because it reminds me of Pokemon Go and shiny hunting. So that's kind of why I go after those cards. Here's another one, and this is something I actually didn't own previously. And now that we're on the XY era cards, what's interesting with these is that these were ending between $20 to $30, $40 a piece. And these cards really hadn't gone up much in price since I quit, because I stopped shortly towards the end of the XY era going into Sun and Moon, and nobody was really grading or even caring about these cards. There was, Espeon, Umbreon, Charizard, of course, Flashfire. There was a few cards, but not very many. And it's kind of interesting now that the prices have jumped up so much. It just seems like nobody was buying these cards. They were going for 40 bucks. I mean, hardly even worth grading unless you really enjoyed the cards. I really just like the full arts, and so I picked up a ton of these. Gallade, I love just the texture on this one. Something that you don't notice on a lot of these cards is just how the texture pattern goes with the background of the Pokemon, and I just really enjoyed the design. But the prices have just been, they don't make sense. People are buying these cards now. Umbreon full art from, I can't remember the name of the set, but somebody's asking $400 for an Umbreon full art when people would pay $75, $120, maybe $150 max. I don't get the prices on some of these full arts because literally nobody was interested in these things graded, and really not even ungraded. And the boxes are shooting up, and the PSA 10 rate's really bad, so the chances of you making your money, it doesn't make sense to me why these cards are really blowing up in value, other than the fact that people really don't know what anything's worth. They're just putting money on things that are cheap now, expecting that the prices jump up, but they're simply prices that are going up because everybody's jumping on them. Similar to a stock, like a penny stock. Somebody hypes it up, the price goes sky high, and the person hyping it up ends up selling it and then tanking the price and taking the profits with them. And so to me, some of these newer cards are things that just people seem to be just speculating on, and it just kind of blows my mind, the prices of them, because it doesn't make sense. I got into this with red and blue for the games, somewhere around jungle. I don't think I really pulled anything from base set. The ice cream man would come by with jungle packs, and that's my kind of memory with it. Mostly Pokemon Gold, which is when I had my own as a kid, and so I spent hundreds of hours on Pokemon Gold, building up Larvatars and chasing for them, building up a team. And so those are my nostalgia. And then when I got back into it in 2012, kind of towards the end of my deployment and my military service, and I just started buying cards, and it was black and white era. So for me, I really love the full arts, just the designs, the secret rares, just overall, I really enjoyed it. And for me, those are the things that really stand out to me was Gen 2, a little Gen 3, and black and white full art era. So that's why I ended up picking up a lot of these cards. And I don't even see these on eBay anymore. These were going weekly or just sitting on eBay price-wise, and nobody was buying them. So it was just really rare or not something that I could comprehend why these prices have just been spiking. And to me, it just seems like people went from, early on over here to over here. It's like vintage, bought on all of this, then, gold stars and back to the 9s and buy the 10s and the 9s and then, buy everything that's undervalued because you simply don't have enough money and you're trying to get on it early. And it just went to buying the harder, just whatever items were available, just buying them out, and then the prices go up, jump onto whatever's next. Hidden Fates. Let's see here. Let's go on to the next step. But yeah, Hidden Fates, those full arts and shinies were going for so cheap, $15, $20. Espeon was going for $75 to $125 at the start of the pandemic, and now it's a $400 card. I just don't get it, why these cards are going for so much. But that's just it. These are things that I've been picking up for EX series. I've been picking up some of the holos when they're cheap. I've been getting some of these like from Card Rush Inc. So Deoxys holos, these are like 40, 60 bucks. This was the low pop one. Unseen Forces is my absolute favorite set. So I picked this up hoping that's the one set that if I don't complete the gold stars and EXs again, I'm just going to really push for Unseen Forces as a complete set with the gold stars, the EXs, the holos, the reverses, and the unknowns. So other than that, I just really love going after Unseen Forces. I picked these up right here. Not really the best reverse holo pattern. You don't really get much compared to this over here. So you see, it's kind of, if I can get the Pokeballs to pop in the background. You get those to pop in the back, and you get a little bit of this star holo pattern. But over here, I don't see them. Oh yeah, they're there. It's just, I guess, the dark background, a little harder to see. But yeah, those are the things that I picked up. And I had one EX, my first EX purchase since coming back, and it was a Gyarados EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. I paid a good amount of price, I think, around $200 for it, but now I see Charizard Authority selling his for $7.99. I'm not going to knock him. If I had an excess amount or a large supply, I would probably sell it for market value, if not a little bit more. It's your primary job. It's what he's done full time for years, so I can't fault the guy for doing that. So, but yeah, prices are astounding on these, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But overall, this was a great card. Only issue was I think a print factory line down here, but card was great overall. Pretty happy with that. The cards that I'm most excited to pick up are cards that I was not able to get during sort of my prime in collecting. Most of you, if you follow the series, me collecting and getting cards, I was big on EX series and black and white era, the full arts. And here was one card that I think avoided me the entire time. I never saw it once, and I think it was a pop of 1 or 2. So when this came back, this was the first graded card I purchased since coming back. So this is a Lugia full art from Plasma Storm. Really great condition. I mean, if I look here, great corners. I mean, almost flawless on the back, not even a small white speck. The only issue is maybe top to bottom centering. It's a little off, but because it's blue and it blends in, it works well. But I paid about $188 for it, which was, again, very surprising to me. The prices of this are the prices of a lot of these full arts, because they're very hard to grade, extremely hard to grade. Plasma Storm is one of the harder sets. The centering top to bottom was notoriously bad, and I was probably one of the people that was chasing this set the hardest and grading the most and buying sets. And I would buy the boxes from Worlds. You would get these little boxes, these white ones that were a complete master set given out to the winners. I bought 5 or 6 of those. I opened up a lot of boxes and I managed to grade a lot of these. And this card was something I would have paid, $350 to $500 back in the day for, just because I was that close to the set and it was that hard of a card to find. This one and Reggie Gigas were probably one of the harder sets to get. I mean, other than Rayquaza and Mew from Dragons Exalted, those were the ones that were probably a little harder to get, more popular and more graded. But Mew was something I was able to purchase thanks to a friend helping me out at the time. But Rayquaza was another one that I'd never owned. And so I'm extremely happy about this card, and probably worth a little bit more. But again, not worth as much as I would expect it to be worth. Here's another one that I didn't have, was Raikou from Dark Explorers. Just an amazing card overall. Goes with Entei from the set. And just the texture, the design. I picked this one up from PWCC auction. It's a little edge on there. It's not so bad in person. But yeah, I picked this up for about $260 from PWCC auction. And I'm very happy with it. Another one was a black and white Landorus full art. This was another one that was hard to get. I'm not sure why this was hard to get at the time. There seems to be a lot of the populations have changed. And I think most people have said that's due to Card Rush Inc. grading a lot of these. And it's just a conspiracy of mine, but it could be something akin to the BGS Black Label issue with BGS with Beckett. There was a seller who people were saying had an extremely odd or very unlikely amount of PSA 10 or BGS 10 Black Label cards from grading. He also used to work with Leaf for Donruss from the sports cards. So there was some speculation about his connection with the company. He would have like a 10 to 20% BGS 10 Black Label rate on his cards compared to the whole of the population. I think he was making up like 20 to 40% of the whole year's worth of BGS Black Labels from just one person. And I think he was a grader or worked at BGS. So it was very peculiar. So people are saying Card Rush has not had really great quality PSA 10 cards. Somebody bought 6 or 7 PSA 10 Honchkrow level X's, and they all had whitening on the back. This person has, PSA 10 First Edition Charizards, complete gold stars, has a lot of cards in PSA 10, and I assume that their experience with the card is similar, and they're saying that a lot of these Card Rush Inc. cards are not great, that they're not giving you photos from it. So I don't know if there's something going on there, but it's just odd to me that they've gotten so many PSA 10s on black and white era cards when they were so difficult to find for me back in the day and a few others that were searching. Obviously they're store and bigger, but it didn't make sense that they were getting this many PSA 10s on black and white era cards. So it's just something odd out there. And the last two that I picked up, we have Reggie Steele from Dragons Exalted and Dialga. I think this was $120, $130, which is a reasonable price for the card. This one, though, was $40. I saw it on there early in the pandemic. Not a bad card. These are the Plasma series, other than Storm, was pretty easy to grade. And, you saw that card for $40. I snatched it up like that and, added it to my collection. It's a great card. I love the Plasma design. So yeah, those are some of my purchases that I picked up over the last few months as far as graded cards. I am hoping to add more cards to my collection once my cards come back graded. But, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the series, me, going out and recollecting everything, subscribe for more videos. So catch you guys next time.